Okay, folks, good evening and welcome to the Matthew Clarke live podcast. Trust me, folks, this guy can talk. I've been speaking to him and this guy's going to be good because he's got plenty of stories. If you're on the Facebook page, folks, please like and share. We need to get this page moving. Also, comment on the comment section. You get your questions in for Matty, and also let us know where you're from and where we're reaching. Obviously, this Sunday, folks, on the Brewheart 1872 podcast is none other than Matthew the Tissier. Obviously, that's going to be good. One of the best players to play in England, and also former Sky pundit. We'll maybe hear what did happen at Sky when we get the Tissier on. Also, folks, the 21st of February, it's one of the biggest names to ever play for Rangers, and it's Mark Hateley. Mark will be on the 21st. And then on the 28th, folks, another ex-Ranger and Southampton player in James Beattie. So, obviously, Linfield played last night. Anybody watch it on Sky? Not a very good performance by Linfield, but they got a point. Obviously, Clarke played in the game. So, we're going to bring Clarke on in a while, not be too far away. Get your questions in for Clarke, folks, to see stuff starting to come in already. Obviously, he played Rangers under Ali McCoist, never made it to the first team, went back, signed for Linfield, and he's been there 7 years. So if I get my button, Clarke should appear. Hi, Clarke.
Guys, what's happening? How are you, mate?
Are you well? All good?
Not too bad.
Good. Plenty, a big audience on here, Clarke, obviously for you, being an ex-Ranger. Bad result last night for you, Clarke.
Shocking result for us, to be honest, guys. We were very, very disappointed after the game, like as you can imagine. But it is what it is. We just, these things happen. You don't take your chances, and the team's always going to get one chance against you. And unfortunately for us, they took their chance. But as I say, we should be beating Carrick regardless of what the circumstances are, and it wasn't good enough from our point of view. Definitely not.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, the teams at Carrick, they raised their game. Obviously, I mean, the Carrick probably won't play as well as that the rest of the season.
No, that's it. It's you can relate. Obviously, I watch Rangers enough and I watch Celtic enough, and you can relate. Obviously, over here when Linfield come to town as well, teams definitely do raise their game against us. It's mad. They're just playing it and then see the full results the following week. You can tell it a mile off. But as I say, it's very similar to Rangers and Celtic. Obviously, teams raise their games against Rangers and Celtic the exact same as how it is over here when we visit town. It seems to be. Yeah,
and how was the gaffer after the game?
He wasn't too happy, as you can imagine. He definitely was a wee bit angry with us all. That's for sure.
Not happy.
There was a few nice words said.
Was there? Well, that's good. Obviously, I watched the game myself on Sky. The pitch didn't look very. Was it bad conditions?
I think if that game hadn't been on Sky last night, it wouldn't have went ahead. No chance, because the pitch was froze solid. It was like running on concrete. It really was. Even in the warm up, there was the right hand side of the pitch. It was solid, like.
Yeah.
So, but I think if the game had been in Sky, it definitely would have been called like 100%.
Mm-hmm. So you're confident Linfield's going to go on and win the league, Clarke?
I am. Coming to the business end. Well, obviously we're only 15 games in, whereas now we would have been coming to the business end of the season. But as I say, we've got the players in the dressing room. We know how to get over the line. We've been there now numerous times, and the lads that are in that change room, we've all been together now for X amount of years. And as I say, but like Lauren and Crusader will definitely put it up there, and as you can see, Lauren's moving in the right direction. The crews are always there about it as well. You can never rule Stephen Baxter's sides out, that's for sure. But it seems to be the challenge is going to come from them too. And you've got Coleraine who are sniffing nicely again, picking up positive results and climbing back up the tree. But it's going to be an interesting end. Definitely, it's going to be an exciting end.
Yeah, obviously, Lauren Clarke, everyone knows Lauren. There's a lot of money going into Lauren, and Lauren are obviously full-time. Obviously, they have an advantage there, don't they, with the full-time training?
No, that's it. There's only one thing. Like full-time football is it's the way to go for me personally, and obviously I've experienced it for 3 years at Rangers and stuff. And you're coming in sharp, you're coming in fit. You've no worries. You're not getting in from a day's work and then going to training at night. And thinking get in the house for an hour, and you have an hour to kill before you go to training. You get no respite. Whereas the full time model that Lauren have, they're doing the thing right. They're doing it professionally, as it would be in England or Scotland. And that's their sole focus. The Lauren players is football. Whereas they're not coming in, as I say, from a day's work and going out to train or play coming in from a Tuesday day's work and then go straight out to play a Tuesday night match. But as you can see, it's got its positives, and Larne are starting to build now. It's been a 2-year process for them. They've been full time, I think, for 2 years, and they're reaping the rewards now, and it's definitely the only way to go.
Yeah, and it's something Linfield's rumoured they've been looking at to send the players or make the players full time.
No, it's definitely something that I think our club has come out in the press recently as well and publicly said that it's something that they're looking at, and hopefully not too far down the line, and it's something that could maybe work at Linfield as well. And there's no reason why it can't work at Linfield with the facilities and stuff we have. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now, maybe 2, 3, 4 months down the line. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So obviously, Clarkey, growing up, what age did you sign for Rangers at?
I signed for Rangers when I was 16.
From whereabouts were you playing in Northern Ireland?
I left Linfield at that time to the Rangers.
So you were at Linfield at 16, then you went to Rangers?
Yeah.
Right, and you had 3 years at Rangers, and then obviously you're back to the Blues.
3 years, and then back home.
So how did it feel, obviously, to get that move to a club like Rangers? And obviously, we all know you're not shy in telling us that you're a Rangers fan through and through. So how did it feel to get that move?
I could get obviously the same for obviously I had options at the time. I had contract offers on the table from Blackburn and Derby as well at that time. And I remember I was back and forward to Rangers flat out, and I got the Derby was actually starting to put a bit of pressure on me here. We needed a decision. We want to get you in, and Blackburn's offer was there as well. But Big Phil, the Rangers scout at the time, he was telling me, just Joe, don't sign anything yet. Rangers will come back, and I kept putting the other 2 teams off. So obviously, once Rangers offered me a contract, as I say, I've said before, people might think I'm talking rubbish, but Real Madrid might offer me a contract, and I still would have signed for Rangers. There's definitely anyone who knows me, I'll know I'm telling the truth. So, but the same for obviously Rangers, my boyhood heroes, and my only love mate, to be honest. But I was never going to turn it down, not a chance. And it was a dream come true for me personally. Going into training every day at Murray Park, and obviously seeing the first team boys at that time. Obviously, I was there my first year. Walter was still the gaffer and stuff, and all the big players still there, and I was starstruck. I'm not going to lie. I was standing beside all these players who I've absolutely idolized for years, and I think I can go one or two ways as well, guys. It can hamper you, but if you go to a club like that and you're thinking these are my heroes, but it was an unbelievable experience, and as I say, I still have a lot of friends across the pond, and I would still go to Glasgow and Edinburgh and stuff quite often a year, and we try and get to 6, 7, 8 games a year. Obviously, it's hard with no football, but trust me, I get as many Sunday games sessions in as I can.
Yeah. So is it fair to say then, Clarkey, 55's coming home?
55 is coming home. There's no doubt about that. Now I've conceded that. I think it was last weekend or 2 weekends ago. Conceded it, and I was reluctant up to that as I never get too carried away with things. But I think it's coming home now, definitely.
Now we had Andy Waterworth on here a few weeks ago, and there was a question come in, and they were saying you have £100 bet on with Gary Eccles.
I'm due £100. I'm already down about £350 bloody pound. Big Gaz, me and Gaz go 100 every year, and Rangers and Celtic won the league, and I've been out of fortune them the last bloody 3 years. So I can't wait to take it off of me. I'll not be too happy or me taking money off the big man, but it'll be some feeling taking a bit of money back off him, because he's usually like this year every single year come the start of pre-season. So the shoe's in our foot this year, guys, I can assure you, and I can't wait to take it off him.
Oh, brilliant. Right, so Clarkey, Wolf Marshall, Evelyn Matty, if Linfield and Rangers both clinch the respective titles, would you fancy a Champions League tie between the two? That'd be a dream come true.
Against Steven Gerrard's Rangers at the moment, I don't know. But nah, 1,000,000%. There's no doubt about that. Imagine coming out in a full house at Ibrox. Rangers v Linfield would be unbelievable. And what an experience it would be, obviously, playing against Stevie G's Rangers at the moment, the way they play, the way they're drilled, their game plan, the players they have. They're honestly, they're unbelievable at the moment. They really are. There's no hiding that. I'll not be scared of it, but it would be scary that there. You'd full Windsor and you'd full Ibrox, no problem for that. You'd full Windsor 5 times over here. So
brilliant. Obviously, you're on there playing in Europe. So was it last season Linfield played the other side of Glasgow?
It was 3 seasons ago now. I think three seasons ago now.
Did you play in that game?
I played in the home game. I got injured in the home game.
Didn't play the wing.
It could only happen to me, honestly. So, I think it was 60 something minutes. James Foss took a shot, and I slid that way to block it, and big Mark Stafford slid that way, and big staff size 14 boot got stuck in my knee and slipped my knee open. I had like 12 stitches to keep my knee completely closed. And I was stretchered off after 62 minutes. And I could think, like, I was in the change room, and God help the doctor, Tim at the time. I was crying, like, in the change room, thinking I'm going to miss next weekend. I'm going to miss Parkhead. And I was saying to Tim, I'll be all right, Tim, for next week, won't I? And Tim didn't have the heart to say you wouldn't. He goes, I will see how you are on Monday. And my knee was hanging clean open, like, with 12 stitches out. Honestly, but as I say, obviously the away tie, the club, fair play to let me travel with the boys, and I was sitting with our chairman Roy up in the Celtic directors box and stuff, and I was sitting beside Peter Lowell and all, and they took us down at half time for food and stuff. And I was coming down the stairs into their directors box or into their wee directors split. I on crutches, mate, and I took a couple of bits of food, and I just looked around. The treble was sitting with the green and white ribbons. And I said, it's time to get out of here. So I went up the stairs and back out to my seat. I couldn't sit any longer.
But Clarke, obviously, that had been a dream for you to play against them.
Exactly. It was 60,000 in Parkhead, like in front of the 60,000 Celtic fans and stuff. Would have been the dream was right. And you know what? I was sitting watching the boys come out that night. You'll never walk alone. I was literally nearly in tears. I swear, my heart was broke, like it really was. And it took me a while to get over that. To be honest, and not getting to play in that game and stuff. And thinking to myself, what, that could bloody only happen to me. And it was soul destroying. Like, just to miss that game was absolutely devastating. Like, it really was.
Yeah, because I would say if you'd have played, Clarke, you'd have been target number one.
Oh, definitely. I can imagine running down the terrace there with the blue stars. It might have been targeted all right, very nicely. Right. A few Celtic fans and a few chants.
Yeah, because you've got the 5 stars on your forearm, haven't you?
I've got the 5s. I got them. I think it was 16 when I moved across. I got them done in Bell's Hill by a guy. One of the lads with Gio that we played with. Gio got all his tattoos done with this guy in Bell's Hill. He was dirt cheap. He done the 5 stars, and we welcomed the chase below for 50 quid. I was buzzing.
Brilliant. Well done. Right, here's one. It's a question from Lana Gibson. Matthew, what about you and Niall Quinn always winding each other up about Rangers and Celtic?
First class. Like, obviously, Connie would be one of my best mates at Linfield, and we've been there the same time together. And, we have an unbelievable relationship with each other. And Connie's a massive Celtic man, like a huge Celtic man. And to be fair, he's had the better of me for the last 7 years that I've been there. But I've been giving it them tight this year, and I can't wait to 55 is secured because I've got a few things in the pipeline for Connie as well.
Have you?
But no, as I say, me and Connie have an unbelievable relationship both on and off the pitch, and another top player and someone who depends. Connie will play left wing and sometimes left back, but someone who this year I've definitely been competing with left back spot for, and as I say, another first class footballer, like, and someone who I have a great relationship with, and is a proper Celtic man, if that makes sense. But
yeah.
The banter's not too far fetched between us, I can assure you.
The question from Nathan Stevens, Matty, what does it mean to you to play for Linfield?
That means a lot. It means a lot, I can assure you. A young lad from Tyrone playing for the biggest club in the country, and not too many lads from down our neck of the woods get to say that. Like, and stepping out at Windsor every week, and just the way the club's built in success, and something I've been used to is having demand to win every week, and it's something that I don't think I'd ever want to change in my career. Obviously, I came from Rangers where you had to win every week, and then signing for Linfield, playing for obviously under managers like David Jeffrey, Fino, and now the manager David Healy and stuff. And it means everything to me to put on the blue shirt every week. It definitely does. And some days I have bad days and some days I have good days, but I'll always give you 100% as long as I'm wearing a royal blue jersey. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, good man. Right, so obviously with Andy Waterworth on, we're talking about characters in the dressing room. You come up as one. Clarke came up as a character. Who else? Kirk Miller's he a character?
Kirk's another one, definitely. Kirk's another one to be watched. As I said, Kirk's another one who probably one of my best mates at the club, and someone who I can always rely on, and someone who I can confide in general life as well. And someone another person who doesn't get the plaudits I thought recently who deserved, but he's getting them recently, but he should have got them years ago. The plaudits that he deserved, because he's a first-class footballer, and his stats don't lie. The assists he has and the goals he contributes to the team, and he's definitely a character. I can assure you, he's first-class value on a night out. That is for sure.
Who's
and then
that?
you've got people like Jordan Stewart as well. Him and Kirk have big guys wind up the tee. Big guys going to kill them two boys, no joke. But as I say, away trips and all, like, you know, we have a brilliant change room, like, but Kirk and Sutler is definitely two of the main characters. There's no doubt about that.
Right, Clark, I've put this question up here because I know this guy here from work, right? And people in England don't believe me that you get brown lemonade.
I wouldn't be a fan of the brown lemonade now.
No?
Nah. Do you like a brown lemonade, guys?
Brown lemonade's all right, but they don't believe me. They don't believe me that you get brown lemonade.
You get it all right, but that's not for me.
Well, I've got to bring some brown lemonade back. Anybody from Northern Ireland know what brown lemonade is?
Get the main man, get the delivery in.
Brilliant. Hold on a minute, Matty. There's something for you there, Matty. Great serving. I don't know. Do you know Sam McFadden? No.
I know Sammy. Sammy's been a good friend of mine for years as well. He was one of my youth team coaches for the year I was there. Sammy was a coach in our Linfield team, and a man that I still hear from nowadays, and get the odd good Rangers text from him at the weekends. But Sammy's a gentleman and a proper football man as well, and a proper blue nose.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know Marky? Say no.
Marky McFall.
Oh, Marky McFall. Say wow, McFall. You know, yeah, you're an absolute Linfield legend.
Marky boy.
Here's one for you here, Clarky. You'll love this. Sign for the Glens.
Don't know if that will go down too well.
Obviously, Clarky, when you're at Rangers, so you didn't make the first. Obviously, you didn't make the first team. So, what players were you closest to over there, like getting you through your day?
Especially my last year there, when I was actually training with the first team and all flat out. Guys, was probably Lee Wallace. I would say that Waldo was always one that always a time for me personally, and really helped me with my game. And you know, I think I was very, very obviously speaking to a few people over there and stuff, and I think I was very close to making that step into the first team for a competitive game. Obviously, I was out for 4 months with a suspected double hernia in that last year in my contract, and I remember my agent at the time telling me that Durante had told him that I was going to be the next Ulster kid to make my debut. And then obviously this had happened. But like, as I say, I went from training with the first team every day at that time before the injury. And then I came back from injury and I was maybe around training with the first team once or twice a week. And I kind of knew that, you know, this might be the end. Like, and you get it in your head, you know, and that was devastating. Like, but as I say, Lee was definitely one. And the last time I was over in Edinburgh, seeing my mate Rob, he's now at Edinburgh City playing, but he was at Tynecastle Boys, and that's the team Waldo runs. They'd won their first trophy in, I don't know how many years it was, but I was there that weekend that they'd won it, and we all went out I went out the Sunday night with them boys, and we had a good night out in Edinburgh, and their full team was there, and Waldo was out as well. He's just a gentleman. You never thought he was a professional footballer playing at the highest level, and he's just a genuine gentleman. He really is, and he's always time for you, always asking about the league. Over the last time, he was always asking about Linfield and asking about the manager and asking about the league and stuff. And just he was an all round good guy. Like, and Waldo would really Rangers at heart. And I was devastated the way things ended with Waldo and Rangers, because he gave Rangers absolutely everything he had. He sacrificed his Scotland career and stuff. And I think that obviously I don't know what happened with him and Kenny in the changing room with Graham Murray, but I don't think they were too happy with the performance that day against Celtic, and naturally enough, the club captain, the club vice captain, and a few things were obviously said. But I think Waldo definitely was maybe treated a wee bit badly in the end up, definitely.
Yeah. You still keep in touch with him?
Then if I'm over in Edinburgh, I would always try and hook in with him.
Yeah. Okay, so the question from William Black: does it go without saying that leaving Rangers was the worst day of your professional career, and joining Linfield was one of your best?
Leaving Rangers was. I remember leaving Scotland and I was absolutely devastated, like, because I'm an easy get on with. I'm a sociable guy and I make friends quite quickly and stuff. But as I say, I still go back across to Scotland maybe 6 to 10 times a year. Obviously, go to the game when I'm over, and I would always stay with a few of the boys over there. If it's Glasgow, to see some of the boys like Big Stu and wee Andy and that. And then if it's not, obviously travel through to Edinburgh to see Rab and stuff. And I've got really friendly with a few boys in South Bank True Blues. big Jamie Gilmore and that, and they're the best of lads. Like, but leaving Rangers, as I say, I remember leaving Glasgow that day. I packed the car. My brother-in-law drove over because I wasn't driving at the time because obviously you didn't need to drive in Glasgow. Public transport was that good. You were no longer in Artie Garvin and Tyrone where there was 2 buses. But as I say, leaving Scotland that day, I remember packing the car and leaving my wee apartment. And I was devastated, like, they were leaving my boyhood years, knowing that I was so close to playing at that time was absolutely devastating. I remember saying from home and had a few options on the table at Derry City at the time. Decky had approached me to go there, and I was actually met Davy Jeffrey this time for Linfield, and I was meant to go meet Glentoran after, but obviously Big Davy, being Big Davy, the way he speaks to you makes you feel like you're the best man in the world. I was never ever saying to anyone else after I met David Jeffrey, I can assure you.
Fair play. But obviously you left Rangers, but did you ever? I mean, what reason was given? Just
I wasn't getting a renewal, and that was the reason. Obviously, Waldo had ended up staying through the whole thing, and I think Stevie Smith had already agreed to join a pre-contract, so that was basically the reason given. But I remember speaking to Billy Kirkwood, my 19s manager and reserve manager, and he says, like, if the decision had been down to me, you're one of my most consistent players, and you play left back nearly every game for me, and there's no way you'll have been let go, like, no chance and stuff. But that's football; it's a dogged game, and you can't go on it too much. Just disappointing it was, obviously, to leave a lot behind in Glasgow, a lot of friendships that I'd made, and obviously to leave the club that I love was it definitely was.
And was there any offers to stay? Could you stay over in Scotland?
I was actually in with St Mirren for a couple of weeks, and they were hemming and hawing about an offer, and I think the money was going to be a situation in the digs because they didn't have a lot of lads outside of an hour and a half distance in the whole country of Scotland. They didn't have really anyone, even an English lad, and I think the dig situation was going to be the stumbling block in that deal. But I think they were very keen at the time, but I just think it came down to money in the end, up to be honest, guy.
Yeah. The question from Dan Wilson: what was the worst football pitch that you have played on, Matty?
Worst football pitch? Oh, that's a good question. The worst. There's a few bad ones over here come the month of January, February, I can assure you. There was one, I think it was one January, February midweek game. It might have been on Friday night. We played Portadown away. This is about going back maybe 4 years ago, maybe more. And we were beat 2-1. I actually scored that night too, but the pitch was like a plough field. It was so bad, honestly. But I say Portadown, we played Portadown this year, and the pitch has been a good enough night. But that night was absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, worst.
It was bad.
Brilliant. So, question from Marlene. What other player do you admire most in your league, not Linfield, and why?
Oh, someone who is... obviously, I've played with him as well. Stevie Lurie's one at Coleraine now at the minute, centre midfield, and just an all-round good guy, and what a footballer. Like, I was gutted when Stevie left us, and he's such a... Like, he's... What's the age? I don't know what age. Stevie must be 32, 33 and still doing the business, and like... Coleraine are very lucky to have Stevie. He's a first class pro and an all round good guy as well. But there's a few real good talents in the league at the minute. It's hard to think on top of your head, but there's one. And obviously there's another one. Lyndon Kane at right back at Coleraine. He's played a lot of games, and Lyndon's only maybe 23, 24, and smashing lad as well. And really good. A bit like myself, he likes a battle. And he's not feared he doesn't shy away from a battle, and he's a good lad as well, and a very good footballer, and been a very, very good servant to Coleraine.
Right, Clark, I don't know whether this is somebody having you on here, but why are you afraid of Hoovers?
This guy, honestly, no, that's Rowan. Me and Rowan Bass lived together last year in Belfast, and this guy lived with us for a year and didn't know where the Hoover was. But honestly, guys, what a man! I miss my big mate so much, man. And like, what a year we had, and what a goalie! Honestly, he's first class, and I don't think I've words to describe how much I miss him, mate. I miss my old pint buddy.
There's something for you there. William Windsor, do you know William?
William, aye.
One of the best defenders in the league, mate. Hope you've been here for many years to come. So he's saying many years to come. How long have you left in your contract, Clarkie?
A year and a half left, so the rest of the season and next year.
So obviously, there's some contract news at Linfield today. Was it Kirk Miller signed?
Kirk signed an all-years extension on top of his, and very well deserved. And Kirk will be here probably. What's that? Bring him up to 23, 24. So I would take Kirk to he's 32, 30, 31, 32, I think. And it's looking that there's every chance that Kirk will maybe finish his career at Linfield, which is, the secure player Kirk's quality for them many years is only good for the club. And as I said, Kirk's stats don't lie, and he's a massive part of Linfield Football Club now, and a massive part of our change room. There's no doubt about
that. Yeah. I want to ask you, Clark. Anyways, obviously, always ask players about if you were getting into a game, who would you go up against in the league, in the Irish league? You'd think, oh, fuck, here we go again. Somebody that's right up for it.
See, it used to be Gavin White at Crusaders for me. Me and Gavin had some unbelievable battles, and you know what, guys, I don't mind marking a proper out-and-out winger where I know that winger might take me down the line, because I fancy me, like, I'm one for not. I don't get beat much 1v1 down the line, but I'd rather mark an out-and-out winger, whereas maybe you've got a Geordie Forsyth or a Chicken, a Jordan Owens from Crusaders, are big men, and they don't really run down the line, but they're physical, they hold it up, and they're hard to get round. And
yeah,
I would prefer to mark an out-and-out winger. And players will back me up myself. I have a good relationship. Jimmy Gallagher plays on the left of the centre half, and me and Jimmy have an unbelievable relationship, definitely. But Gavin White was definitely one for me. But not recently, definitely Marty Donnelly at Larne has really the full time football has really, I think, brought Marty on another level. And at the minute he's been tough enough to mark personally. I think it's just the way Larne play in general. They've got such a good game plan and such a good style of play that their transition, their movement is definitely, it's unbelievable. But I think Marty is probably one of them, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's players, obviously, Clarkie, players that are skillful players. But when I'm talking about, if you went in the battle with somebody, who would you think, oh, here we go again? As in a dirty game.
Oh, a dirty game. Maybe I would say maybe Jordan Owens at Crusaders, or I would go with Jordan Owens. I know Jordan plays up front, but it's always a fight with Big Chicken. It's always a battle. I remember one day we were beating them at Seaview, and me and Chicken had squared up with each other, and I was telling him to hit me, go on, hit me, big man, hit me. And I think if Chicken had hit me, it would knock me clean out. But anyway, I was keen, but he would definitely knock me out. As I say, Chicken's he's so effective for Crusaders, and he's had some career for them, and pulled him through the mud many a times on his own. But Jimmy will tell you, Big Staff, Big Hawks will tell you that he's an absolute nightmare to mark, and he's so effective at his game, and the crews can really play.
I think your Wi-Fi's gone there, Clarkie.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead, mate.
No, as I say, I would definitely Big Jordan Owens. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. All right. There's one for you there. Evening, Matthew. Could you tell us about your 2 goals of Coleraine for Linfield again, please?
Is that young Luke? Is it?
Definitely.
I think McKendry, the wee brutes at it. That's a long time ago now. I don't know how many years ago that is now. Can't remember how many years ago. That's about 5-6 years ago. The free kick and then the one I put in the top bin.
Yeah.
That was under Fino, I think. I think it's 6 years ago. I can't even remember, but a free kick. I don't think I've hit one since.
Oh.
I put it, as I say, put the right edge of the box. We won 2-1 that day, and me and Kirk were standing over it, and I reverse swapped it in the stanch, and then the other one I ran on and put it in the top corner as well. Young McKendry, he's at it.
Is he? Yeah.
That's Luke McKendry. He's a big Coleraine man. It's Colin's son, Colin McKendry's son.
All right, very good.
The best thing about it was he was a Rangers man before he was a Celtic man.
Not from Coleraine, surely, eh?
Yeah, couldn't watch that, man.
All right, folks, if you're watching the Facebook page, make sure you like and share. And if you're on Twitter, retweet. I'm telling you, this is one of the busiest we've had. The amount of questions coming in, just keep them coming in. We'll pick out the questions for Clarkie. Here's one there. Clarkie, hello, Matty. How do you feel about Kirk Miller and Jimmy McGrew signing a new contract extension for the club? And what has been your bestest moment for Linfield?
No, obviously, as I say, them two players are massive in our change room. They've been here, as Jimmy's been here, 14, 15 years, and Kirk's been here same length time as me, I think. And they're definitely 2 huge players for us as a club, and they're nearly in their two your first names in the team sheet every week, and I think it's only good news for the club that them two have planned the future of the club, and obviously Jamie's maybe coming to an end. They're not like me saying that, but he's a few years left in the tank yet, and but it's massive for us as a club as well, and as for a change room that we're keeping two big players like that. Yeah. The best moment, probably the 16-17 season. I'm sure Waterworth told you the same thing.
Yeah,
guys. Winning that treble that year, we were unbelievable. Like the run we went on from January to the end of the season. I think at one stage we were maybe 15 points behind the Cruise in January, and just to finish it, we won the league and won an Irish Cup and stuff, and the County Arm Shield in the February. I think that really kicked us on as well. And I think that's been the best year for me personally on the pitch. I played a lot of football that year, and I nearly played every game. That year was just special. It really was, and the celebrations as well that year was very special.
Yeah, brilliant. There's one for you there. Hey Matthew, what is the best stadium you have played in? And you're going to say Ibrox, aren't you? Like what?
The slopes of Ibrox Park. The best stadium I've ever played in. There's some really, really good ones. Linfield now, definitely in Europe. I think AIK away might have been the best in Stockholm, Sweden's national stadium. Remember Zlatan scored that goal against Joe Hart, or was it a red kick or something from the halfway? I can't get chilly from the halfway line. But I think maybe there, or I really liked Rosenborg Stadium as well. Sort of. But I think AIK's was lovely. Just it was really modern and stuff, and it was a very good atmosphere that night as well. Their fans were hostile, so they were. I remember we went down a night out after the game, and a few of their fans were actually in some of the place we were, and they clocked on. We were like Linfield, and they were asking us did we want to go for a fight and stuff, trying to arrange a fight. Some of these guys were big guys, and I was like, no, we'll forget about the fight, big man. AIK Stockholm, I think, was probably the best.
Yeah. Well, there's one there for you from Stuart Clarke. Matty, what do you think about Big Roy signing for Dungannon?
The big mate's back in the Irish League, so he is. I was chatting to him. We got the game. Our game was obviously called off. Was it last weekend against Dungannon? Was it last week? Yeah, it was last weekend. And he texted me on the Friday night, what about you calling that game off because you hear I had the gloves back on? No, as I say, it's only good for the league, and Big Roy's a character to have. And he's a 15-point-a-man season. Like this, some of the saves that them season saves that others was honestly unbelievable. And what a man, like another man, humble, and you would never think that this guy's played under Sir Alex Ferguson, made X amount of appearances in the Premier League, won this and won that. And honestly, what a guy! And it's only good, as I say, it's only good for Dungannon as well, because imagine being a young keeper at the minute, Big Roy coming in, and he's got such a presence. Honestly, guys, I can't explain it. And he's as I say, he's an all-round good guy, and Dungannon will only benefit from having Roy and the younger players and stuff, definitely. And I just put them in good stead. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because we were chatting to Andy Waterworth. We were on about having a night. We were going to get yourself, Andy Waterworth, Jimmy Mulgrew.
Jeez, that would be good crack.
And Andy Waterworth suggested Kirk Miller as well. We could bring Big Roy on, because we've had Roy on before.
I hear that would be unbelievable. So
well, maybe a few stories, is there?
There'll be a few stories telling that, all right.
There's one for you there. You love this, Clarky.
Feels very good, to be honest. Very good.
Rob McCalvary, how much are you looking forward to a Sunday session in Benedict's?
Sundays, Rob. Matt's missing a Bendy Sunday, to be honest. There, have you had a Bendy Sunday, guys? Have you?
No, I've never been to Benedict's on Sunday.
You need to do a Benedict Sunday. Unbelievable.
I'll have to come. Well, next time we'll go for a pint.
A pint will lean into about 50 pints in Benedict's right now on a Sunday.
All right, Clarky. So there's a question from David Osborne on Twitter. Who's your heroes both in and out of football, and why?
In football is an easy one for me, Barry Ferguson. Someone who I idolised as a kid growing up. Even though I'm not a centre mid or anything, I just loved everything about the guy. I loved how much passion he had for Rangers, and I've read his book. And just when I was younger, I always had my Rangers tops, Ferguson 6 in the back. And even at the old, I remember when I was captain and stuff, remember the old Rangers armband he wore, the wee Rangers had crest, and then said, no, I just loved how much he loved Rangers and got the club, and he was just driven on success and driven on winning, and then watching obviously podcasts and stuff. I could listen to the guy all day and just hearing stories about how much he wanted to win, and even in training and stuff, he was so demanding. And Barry Ferguson easily for me. In football, out of football, my hero. Okay, I don't know, probably someone. I don't know. He'd probably not like me saying this, but maybe I remember growing up watching my brother and stuff, and my brother probably was very. It was probably my brother got me. I would say my love of football, to be honest, and just I remember watching Ross when I was younger, and like Ross was probably better than me, to be honest, but he just probably didn't get the opportunities that I got, and I think he might have kicked me off the street sometimes when I was he didn't want me to play. Maybe I was too young with him and stuff. But I think going to watch Ross and stuff in the Milk Cup and really drove me on. He played for Tyrone as well, and like he was at Blackburn trials and stuff when he was younger as well. And I don't know if you like me saying that, but I think Ross really drove me on to have a wee go of football as well.
Yeah, you talked there about Barry Ferguson and he's will they win, Clarkey. Who in the Linfield dressing rooms your typical Barry Ferguson, and who's the one that's the?
We've got a couple. We've got a few, to be honest. I think everyone obviously we've got the new lads to bet and know the Linfield way, but it doesn't take too long to know that. But I think all the lads who've been there, guys, to be honest, we were a collective group who've been there maybe together the last 6, 7, 8 years. And obviously your likes of Jimmy Gallagher's one big staff, Mulgrew, and the likes of Quinny and even Kirk and stuff. I know Kirk can joke and laugh and stuff, but like I think we all get it. We know how big it is. Like a draw it's a bit like Rangers. A draw is an absolute nightmare result for Linfield. There's no doubt about that, and we know that. Like we get that, and we get down as anyone. We get down as the fans. I know if I draw or lose and I play on a Saturday and don't get the result, I'm like ask my wife. I go home at the weekends. I'm bloody depressed. I'm so angry with myself, and I'm so down with myself and disappointed with myself. And I think football does that to you, especially if you're involved in the higher tier of clubs where the demand's so heavy on you. I think it can weigh a heavy weight on you, especially if you don't get the result you're expecting. I know you've got a lot of the country on your back and stuff, and when you're expecting to win, but that's part and parcel of the game. And being at a club like Linfield, you just have to win.
Yeah, because when Andy Waterford was on here, Andy says he felt more pressure at Linfield than he did playing when he played at Hamilton, Scotland.
I'd well believe that. Even now, there's probably still more pressure. Obviously, Lackeys have a fight in their hand to stay up, but as I say, it's a bad. If you're not winning at Linfield, it's a bad place to be. Like, and we had a toxic season in 17-18. I think we'd won the treble, and the next season we finished fourth. We were out all the cups with February, March, and it was a really, really tough year mentally and physically, because we were just getting hit with a sucker punch all the time. We were missing chance after chance in games, and we were in the 2-1. Or beat 1-0, beat 2-1 here and there. And it's as anyone will back that up. To be at Linfield and you're not winning games it's definitely mentally very tough. But as I say, if you're not mentally tough for a club, you won't last, guys.
Yeah. There's Trevor Hamilton says the party Garvin Pelly.
Hammy. The Party Garvin, good old Party Garvin. It's finished at the minute with COVID. There's no more Party Garvin at the minute. Soon to return.
There's one for you there. Will you turn out for Fox Lodge when football career is over?
There's no doubt about that. That's my wee local cricket team, and they've been absolutely brilliant with me over the years and stuff always. And I still play the odd game in the summer. I don't know if Linfield like me saying that, but I still play the odd game in the summer when I'm in the off season and that. And it's a great wee club, and it's based in Balmagorry. You know Balmagorry, guy? I know that. Fox Lodge, I'm sure, anyway. But
yeah,
a fantastic club, and it's ran by all the right men. And it's just as I say, our wee local, and it's a brilliant wee spot, a fantastic cricket club.
Yeah, we shout out to Martin Sutton there. He's put the thumbs up, evening lads. Dev Kane, Matty, is there anyone in Linfield or the league that you can see going to the top? Maybe a new Stephen Davis?
Big ass cat, Stevie Davis. I don't think that man will ever be replaced. I actually seen a thing today. I read a thing about how Rangers are going to replace Stephen Davis. I don't think they are going to replace Steve Davis.
Yeah.
In the league, there's some unbelievable talent at the minute in the league. It's just it's getting an opportunity to get across. And I think the England, Scotland's waking up that there actually is talent in Northern Ireland. I'm glad to see the boys have went across and done really well recently. Obviously, you've got Brad Lyons who went across recently. He's on loan at the moment, scored last night. And you've got Mark Sykes, you've got Gavin White, who else has went? Bobby Burns has went, but back across now. Obviously, the Glens have suffered a bad injury. Paul Smith went from us. What a player! What a season he had, and deserved his chance, and he's took it. And obviously, he's done well and still across. He was a QPR, as a Charlton. Where's Smithy on loan somewhere else now as well?
Oh, I don't know where he is now. I didn't know he was Charlton. I always thought he was just QPR. You know.
But there's another one, Smithy. He was first class. Joe Cooper went to Oxford, and obviously he's back for 6 months in loan at us here. But hopefully he can kickstart his career again at the end of the season back to Oxford. And as Coops has he's the ability to do so hopefully he can. But I think it's nice to see England and Scotland waking up that there actually is a lot of talent in this league. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because maybe not at the time you're across, but I remember years ago when lads went across, they always seem to struggle with the homesickness. You know?
There's no doubt about that. It definitely features in at times when you're across. You know, you might see one or two things at home, and it might just play in your mind that I wish I was home for this and that. But I think I had bits and bobs of homesickness, but I was very lucky because I think going to Scotland really helped guys. The people there are very like us, and they're so down to earth, and they enjoy the crack, and they're very sociable people like ourselves in Northern Ireland. But I had a bit of homesickness. I didn't have too much, but obviously I had a good family. My mum and my dad at the time and stuff. My brothers and sisters. As I say, guys, I had an apartment there, and I had people over every other weekend going to watch Rangers and staying with me. So I was lucky that way because I'd always mates going to watch Rangers, and they were always staying with me. So at home from home every other weekend. Honestly, it was crazy. There was literally people with me every other weekend. There really was.
Brilliant, right, Clarke. I don't know whether you know this guy.
Callum Granger, listen to him. He's an old man. He's a good friend, a good mate of mine, Stu, and obviously I've got to know Cal over the last probably 6-7 years, and he's a top man. He's absolutely hilarious, mate. And he's Rangers daft, but he's a miserable guy.
There's something else for you from him.
Oh, mate, this was absolutely first class. So him and Stu were over for the weekend. Him and Stu would come over and see me quite often and come to some of our games and stuff. And he was staying in I used to have an apartment in Murray here, and I used to live with big Marcus Christie. Like, honest, I mean, this guy had an 8-pack and cycles for Ireland and stuff, and one of the fittest men I've ever seen. But he could play a joke on him, and he would fall for it. Cal came into the apartment and pretended he was blind. And Marcus was over helping him in the seat and stuff, and could you get me this? Marcus was going to get him this, and it was I had to walk out of the room. I was gone. I was done. It was so funny. I'll never forget that. Right now, that was hilarious.
Brilliant, Clarke. There's one for you there. Don't forget the Shankle Loyal next time you're around.
And the VP, the Shankle Loyal. That's Butler. Butler's another friend I've obviously became with since I've joined Linfield, and the top man. He's someone who would always go out of his way to really make sure you're all right and make sure you have everything in place and stuff. And he's part of a big club in Butler. I think he's in the Springdale. But as I say, he's been a top man since I've lived in Belfast and stuff, and always really looked out for me.
Brilliant. Right. From Michael McCoy, after news about Kirk and Jamie, do you think you'll get to finish your days at the Blues, Clarke?
Who knows? Well, as I say, I have another year and a half left, and we'll see what happens after that and stuff. But that will take me up to being, I think, 9 years at the club. So I'll be what then? I'll be 29 then. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'd be more than happy to finish my time at the club and stuff. But as I say, if they're keeping the same, obviously moving forward, keeping players like Jamie and Kirk in the same kind of nucleus of a squad that we've had, I wouldn't be the only one who'd be happy to finish their days at Linfield and stuff. But as I say, we have a great squad there and a team of winners, to be fair.
Right. Question from Andy Scotty Hamilton. Your favourite all-time Rangers player and current Ranger?
Favourite, as I say, Barry Ferguson, no doubt about that. As I said, just his whole demeanour with Rangers and stuff, and the way he handled himself, and I always call him Mr. Rangers, and the trophies he's won and the teams he's led. Being captain of Rangers at 20? Was it 20? And the players that he captained at that time was scary. And obviously, Barry was a midfielder who scored goals and dragged Rangers through games as well. That Scottish Cup final against Celtic. Current Rangers player, favourite Rangers player at the minute. I've got a few. I'm trying to pick one. You know what? I love Big Helander. I really
Yeah,
do. I'd be gutted when I see that he's been dropped. Or I really do. I think he's been so consistent this year, and I really like him and Goldson together. Obviously,
yeah,
I've Steve Davis as well. Like Steve, I don't know how we're going to replace Stephen Davis. I really don't, and it worries me a wee bit. But look at the way he came on against Hamilton at the weekend. He changed the game for me, and the pass through for Barisic first time when that Arsenal was on an easy pass, and probably Helander and Stevie D at the moment, I would say.
yeah. I just seen today too. So Roof's lost his appeal.
Appeal?
He's lost it. Aye.
Why? Oh, sure, that's a shock.
Everybody's saying the same, innit? Yeah, he's lost his appeal, so he's out for 2 games now. So Defoe's injured, Morales is out, Roof's out.
Well, else has one more game to serve, doesn't he?
One more, aye. One more, aye.
And Defoe's out. Ooh, Big Itten might get a good chance then.
Yeah. Okay, Clarky, question from Brian McCall. Clark, a great guy. How's lockdown been as a footballer? And has your wee dog helped?
Big Bryzo, what a man, top man, another great man. As Andy has said, Brian worked in IFA with Andy, and I done my university placement in IFA with Andy, and obviously Brian was there as well. But I think we overdone the coffee someday talking about football non-stop. But he's an absolute gentleman and a hero. Lockdown is the first lockdown was, you know what, guys, I didn't mind the first. Obviously, the season was cut short and stuff. That was gutting, like, but see, training on your own. The first one was easy enough, I think, because of the weather. Obviously doing your runs in the hot weather, and I was down at Fox Lodge, the cricket pitch, doing my own stuff and that, and then maybe waiting on my mates to finish work at night, and then we were going cycles and stuff, doing 28, 29 mile here and there. But this one, just playing football behind closed doors, and I'm sure you'll agree, with no fans and stuff, it's soul destroying, like it really is. And being a proper football fan myself, I know how, like, obviously just being a fan, not being really, I can't get to watch Rangers at the moment. Like, I keep saying every week, geez, I can't wait to get to watch Rangers again and stuff, but it's not been easy, honestly. It's just playing behind closed doors is not for me. And I think the fans make football, there's no doubt about that. And obviously having a wee dog has for sure helped. I mean, he's keeping me sane at the minute. Me and him's going 2 or 3 walks a day, and obviously he's only 1 and he's a bit daft yet, like, but I'm so glad I have him, and I'd have been lost now the last couple of months without him. There's no doubt about that. He certainly keeps me on my toes.
He's chatting there, Clark, about no fans of football. Do you think that the pressure's less when you're playing now without the fans?
I think it is. It definitely is, and I think maybe that's why Rangers as well have really pushed on, because I mean, I'm sure you'll agree with me. I've been in Outbox many times, and the fans can really get on there. It's a bit like us, you know. The Linfield fans will really tell you if it's not been good enough. I remember coming to games at half time, maybe 0-0, and we're being booed on at times and stuff. But it's the same pressure at Rangers, and I think that's maybe why Rangers have really, really stepped forward and drove on this year. Obviously, I don't care what the circumstances, but I'd rather see a full house at Ibrox. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, well, let's hope if they're. I mean, they take 55 and an empty Ibrox. We'd love to get the fans back in for 55, wouldn't we?
Definitely. I'll be in Scotland at somewhere anyway. I can assure you. Not secret location here, but I'll make it.
Brilliant. Right, Clark, I'm going to put this one up for you now. I think somebody's having you on here.
Who's that? Adam? Me and him used to wind each other up at school. He's spelling muck.
Oh, so I put this up here now. I take this as an agency, Callum Granger. Would you ever re-sign with Elite Pro Scotland?
That's Cal again. That's an old prank of Cal's. I remember being a night out over here one night, and Cal had told a certain Irish League footballer that he was a football agent and he could get him a move, and Cal was handing out his number and all, pretending that he was an agent. It was a treat to him. Honestly, this man could tell you any yarn, you believe it, like. So you would.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Elite Pro Scotland. He made that up on the spot and everything, and he was handing out his number and stuff, telling this guy get him a move and that. First class.
Because he's just wrote here and up and up. Who's the best agent you've worked with? Right. Robbie Logan has just told us your wee mate Smith from Linfield is at Accrington Stanley on loan now.
Accrington Stanley. That's where he is.
Yeah. Question coming in from another ex-Ranger here. It's from Kyle McCausland.
Big Cozzy.
He says, ask Matty about his sent off against Celtic.
I remember the 19s one day I got sent off against Celtic at Murray Park. Not a good day that, because I think it was 0-0. I got sent off and I got beat 3-0, and Jim Sinclair came in at that time and went straight through me. But
who went through you?
Jim Sinclair, academy director at the time, he basically blamed me always for getting beat 3-0 because I got sent off at 0-0, and he blamed me obviously. So I think the old passion got a bit better me that day.
Brilliant.
But it wasn't. It was a bad challenge, right?
So Big Kyle was at Rangers.
Because it was an hour big gentleman. Hey,
I don't know where he's at now, where he's playing.
I know he went to Ayr and stuff, I think. And I don't know if he's still playing, but as I say, because he was a great footballer as well. And I think Cosy made a few first team appearances at Rangers.
Yeah.
And, someone who I got on the best with, he was a year older than me, Big Cosy, but he was top man, a really, really top man.
Yeah, Kyle, if you're watching it now, let us know where you're at now, where you're playing. From Darren Steele, hello Clarky, how do the new boys look in training and what can we expect from them?
Obviously the two new boys we've signed in January, Big Michael and wee Cammy from Rangers. So Cammy looks a tidy player now. He definitely looks a very talented footballer, and I think he can add a bit of technical ability to our midfield and a bit of steeliness. He's a right framey lad for only a 20-year-old. And obviously Michael there at centre half, he looks a tidy ball player who can play and who won't shy away from the battle. There's no doubt about that. Both look good additions, and hopefully it doesn't take them too long to adjust to life, obviously, in the Irish League.
Yeah. Okay, so one from Michael Clarke. Surely, if you get to 10 years of club, you will get the game against Rangers at Windsor. That'd be your testimonial, Clarky.
That would be a dream now, definitely. It's something that, obviously, if I was lucky enough to be there for 10 years and get offered that opportunity, it's the only club that I would personally want for my testimony. There's no doubt about that, and that would be a dream come true now. Especially with Stevie Gerrard and all that. And if 55 did happen this year, and maybe a couple of years of continued success, it would definitely be my dream. There's no doubt about that. That's the only team that I want.
Yeah, up Rangers. Obviously, another question there as well. How strange is match days now without the fans?
It's not the same. It's honestly, I'll tell you, hand on heart, it's terrible. Playing, and as you said, like obviously the biggest stadium in the Irish League on empty Windsors, it's not nice. Regardless of the fans are giving you crap or not, or they're on your back or they're positive. I think it makes football in a way. And then obviously watching the leagues as well. About a month ago, I remember I said I never watched another match bar Rangers that doesn't have any fans, but it's you ask any footballer, and not just the Irish League in the world, they'll say the same thing. It's not the same. Hopefully it doesn't go on for much longer.
Yeah. Okay, folks, if you're watching on the Facebook page, remember to like and share. Also, if you're on Twitter, hit the retweet. Clarky, you've played under, obviously, David Healy, David Jeffries, and Warren Feeney.
Aye.
Out of the three, that's not a nice question, but out of the three,
which one's probably been the best to work with? Well,
there's different ways in there, as in man management or...
Well, the man management is definitely David Jeffrey. There's no doubt about that. I think in my first year, DJ was in charge of my first year back when I first moved home from Scotland. And, I think I only might have played 20, 22 games that year. And I really struggled to get up to speed in the Irish League. And just to fix the whole how physical it was, and you had no time in the ball. Whereas in England, Scotland, obviously you have time in the ball, you have time to pick a pass. There's not someone on you constantly. There's no time in the Irish League. There's someone breathing down your back all the time, and anyone who's made that adjustment from coming from England or Scotland will tell you the same thing. It takes time, and I think DJ, he was good with me because he could relate. Because he I remember always having private conversations with him. I was disappointed not playing, and he told me just to bide my time and stuff. That he's been there and done that, coming back from home from Manchester United and trying to adjust the Irish League. He was the exact same as myself. That's something I'll always respect him for. And Davey always made you feel like you were really truly valued, and he would always have private one-on-ones with you, how you were, and see where you're at and stuff. But definitely DJ was the best man manager. There's no doubt about that. An absolute massive man in the Irish League, and again, a first-class manager, and his success rate doesn't lie. And he was a privilege to work with, and someone who is huge in Northern Irish football and massive character.
Yeah. And if I was to say to you, out of the three then, who fires off the worst when results aren't going well?
Potentially the gaffer at the minute now, definitely.
Is that right?
He has a right red streak in him eye when the results aren't going our way now. But as David Jeffrey was another one now, he could really let rip, like, so he could. But I think the current gaffer now, definitely.
Have you ever been in the end of anything from him?
I've been in the end of a few things, I think, from him, aye. So
Right, okay. Well, according to somebody who they're saying Big Kyle plays for Cummock Juniors.
There you are.
There you are. So, right, question from Ben Walsh. If you played Rangers at Windsor, who would you swap your shirt with?
I would try and get Dave Rose now because he's coming to the end. Definitely, I'd definitely try and get Steve Davis. Obviously, being from Northern Ireland and stuff and looking up to Dave Rose, having a career he had, and I would definitely try and get Steve Davis now.
Yeah. Question from Wolf Marshall. Matt, I know it's a few years off, but do you have any aspirations to go into coaching management once you've stopped playing?
At the minute, Wolf, to be truthfully honest, I don't. And I don't know if I could ever see myself going in it. Anyone who knows me and anyone, my friends, will tell you, as soon as I stop playing, I'm going to get a season ticket for Ibrox and I'm going to concentrate and go and watch football and enjoy football. I've made enough sacrifices, I think, for football during my time of playing and stuff, where I want to go maybe hopefully down the line, have a family and stuff, and I want to take my kids to watch football. I want to put my football in when I retire, put it back in the Rangers and go and watch Rangers.
Good man. Well done, Clarky. Question from Mark McLean. Why do you think we are conceding so many at the minute? It's pretty much the same boys at the back.
I wish I'd answered that, Mark, to be honest. As usual, as I'm sure all the Linfield fans on here know, and we've had an unbelievable clean sheet record over the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it's something we always strive on. It's something we work very, very hard on. But I can't put my finger on why we are conceding a lot, because it's so unlike us, and we don't concede goals. But this season we have been conceding goals, and I think it's something that us as a back four who are very disappointed in conceding goals. And sometimes we might if we won a game 3-2, like some of us in the back four are raging ourselves that we've conceded two sloppy goals. And the goal last night it should have been dealt with. Like the guy shanked across and somehow it's reached across the box and your man's put it in. But it's not something that we are used to, is conceding goals, and it's something we strive not to do. But it's something that we need to correct very, very, very shortly, as it can't go on. And it's something that we've built a foundation on, and is not conceding goals, and something we're proud of. But as I say, this season's been a bit different. We have conceded a lot of goals, and it has been disappointing as a defender myself personally.
Yeah, okay. One from Adam Buchanan. Matty lad, you still superstitious about putting on your left sock and boot? Is that a superstition you have?
It has always put my left on first. Hey, even if I'm doing anything during the day, put my left trouser in, everything. Before a game, always put my left sock on, always put my left foot in, my shorts first, my left sleeve, the whole lot. I still do it, Adam.
Right. Question from William Windsor. Best ground you'd love to win at, Solitude or the Oval, mate?
That's a tough question, mate. I love one at Solitude, obviously, because I get dogs abuse at Oval as well, but I think the 5 stars in the arm doesn't help at Solitude when I'm playing left back at that wee wall where they're so close to me. But nothing beats beating the Glens at Oval, nothing at all. Especially when you have to walk in through the Glen men, them giving you pelters, going in through that tunnel. There's no better feeling. But it's not, obviously, Solitude is very sweet to one out as well. Very, very sweet.
Brilliant, Clarky. Question from Marky McFall. Who's the best person you've played with?
Linfield or Rangers, I wonder. At Linfield, best player I've played with at Linfield. We'll go with that. I would say probably Mulgrew or Big Jimmy at the minute. Obviously, I've been there the whole time that them boys have been there as well. And I'll go with Jimmy. I think me and Jimmy have a good partnership. He trusts me and I trust him on that left side of the back four and stuff. And we get on out so well outside of football as well. And Jimmy's just another one. He's obsessed with winning and stuff, and he knows what it means to play for Linfield and that. But I think Jimmy's built a very, very good career for himself at Linfield, very well deserved.
Yeah. Question from Derek Kelly. Clarke, which game sticks in your memory the most, regardless if you played in it or not?
Solitude, the day we won the league, I think. The last day of the season in 2016-17, the day Waterworld scored the hat-trick.
Was Solitude? Is that where it was?
It's away to Clinville. And we needed to win the game to win the league, and we were done at half time, 1-0 down. And I remember just sitting there at half time thinking, "There's no way this can't happen. We can't lose this game." And I think at that time too, the manager said something, that will stick in my memory for probably the day ago as well. That somebody's might, if we lose here today and we don't win this league, somebody's will never ever recover from this. And he was probably right. We fair without second half, and we were like a juggernaut. The second half, we took the game to Clinville, and Andy got 3, and it was special, a very very special day, especially lifting the league at Solitude in front of Clinville fans.
And Andy says he changed his boots at half time. He was having a nightmare. Changed his boots. They scored 3.
Scored 3, and 3 good goals they were. I remember I think the second goal is one of the best goals I think I've seen anyone score in my time since I've been home that day. That second goal was unbelievable. But that whole week I think was so special. The Irish Cup then the week after where we played Coleraine, a good Coleraine team, and I think it was a very one-sided game that day. And I don't know. I think we were just on a run that no one was going to stop us. And it was an unbelievable week that week.
Yeah, because Waterworth got a hat trick in both games.
Andy got a hat trick in the final as well, and I think he was panicking a wee bit because me and him might have overdone it a couple of days later after the league.
We heard that because we heard of the Berlin 3.
Oh, the Berlin 3. I don't know if you mentioned too much about that, but we left Benelux that Sunday, and we ended up in the Berlin Barn, the Shankill, me, Andy, and Connie. And of course, we landed up and we were absolutely steaming, and we landed in and we went up to go up and pay for a round of drinks. I think one of his orders, I think Rob tells me I had ordered 6 or 8 Jaeger bombs or something like that. And we were all ready. I don't know if we ever were able to drink these because we were smashed. And I had none of us any cash. We went to pay for a card, and obviously the Berlin Barn of Shankill didn't take card, and Rob had to bail us out with cash. Honestly, that week was so good that just after the Irish Cup final, I was well on the Sunday and the cutters and the good weather. It was such a special week. I don't know if I ever topped that in my Linfield career, but it was. I don't
think he's had to buy much drink in the Berlin. I would say he's got a few beers, but this.
It turned out all right in the end.
Did it? Right. Brilliant. Right. Marky Montgomery. Any Irish League players you rate really highly, Matt, and would like to see at Linfield? Ooh.
Oh, good question. Any I rate really highly like to see at Linfield? That's a good question. A very good question. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't know quite something what you're coming to about anything, but there's a young lad who plays midfield for Dungannon at the moment. I think is it Oisin Smith. I think he's going to be a smasher. I really do. I think he's only like 20, 21, but he's a big lad and gets about the pitch and stuff. But as I say, there's a few bits and bobs of good young talent about the Irish League, and I think obviously the club have signed a few players from outside the Irish League. Obviously, Bar Navid and Connor Pepper who come in, but there's definitely a few younger lads who could potentially really make a grade at one of the bigger clubs in the country. I think it would be nice to see some of the bigger clubs taking a punt, maybe with some of the younger lads. But I think Oisin Smith, I really like him. I really do like him. I think that not only one in our team who really likes the big lad in midfield.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one for you here from Nick Bride. What's your memories of being on the Kirkintilloch Rangers bus to Hampden for the semi-final against Hearts 2 years ago?
Oh, me and Josh, there's another man, a top man, Josh Kjarson, that plays for Coleraine, a good mate of mine, who's at Linfield as well for a year with me. It's me and him always travel for the Rangers game, and we always tie him with the South Bank boys, and they're from Kirky, and the big double-decker bus, it was packed to the tees, and there were people standing everywhere. And I remember me and Josh coming back out of the game meeting, I played a chicken curry, and the chicken curry was going everywhere. And one of the days, honestly, I love getting across and traveling with the South Bank boys and stuff. it's unbelievable. Getting in, always going to their club and stuff, and then travel to the games in their bus. And I'm a football fan. Like, as I say, once I finish playing, I'm definitely taking a lot of Rangers games. And they've been very good. They obviously, like me and Josh and stuff, for tickets and that, and they always look after us when we're over. And I remember we beat Cliftonville not Cliftonville, we beat Coleraine on was it the second or third day, last day of that season. Crusaders been beaten. We actually went top that day. Me and Josh were going over. It was for one of the Rangers Celtic games. It was a cup final or a semi-final, I can't remember. Me and Josh went over that Saturday night, and we went to the game, and we said we were going back with Big Jam and all to the Cricket Club, and we went back and said, right, we'll stay at 4 or 5, we'll take a few beer at the club and then go back and go out in Glasgow. Well, flip me and Josh were still there that night at 11 o'clock. And we could string 2 sentences together.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Obviously first class club.
Right. Who's a better player? Your cousin Richard Clarke? That's from William McGlinchey.
There's no doubt about that. Richard's a better footballer than me, a far more technically and talented player than me. And the career he had in every league as well. Obviously played for Crusaders, Glentoran and Omatown, and now Ballinamore. And anyone you know in every league will tell you that Richard's one of the tidiest that there's been in centre midfield. Someone who could pass, play, and get about the pitch, and is definitely one of the most technical ability midfielders in every league in a long time.
Yeah. Okay, Clarky. So one from William McGlinchey. What's the most memorable goal scored?
Probably them 2 Coleraine, I would say. They were I scored another one at Coleraine as well. My granny was actually getting buried that Saturday. My granny Clarke, who died, and she got buried that Saturday. But my dad told me, go on with football. It's what you do is go on, play your football. And I actually scored that day at Coleraine as well, which is so strange. Of all days to score, obviously, it just shows you that. But I would say maybe that one that sticks out. Yeah. There's another one actually, Sujetska as well in the Europa League. They put us into the 4th qualifying round against Quarabag. I think that whole European run, guys, was unbelievable. And the score that night in front of them European nights at Windsor, I just wish we could have that every week. Like the European nights at Windsor were incredible. Like the fans were unbelievable. They just sang for 90 minutes, and like that European run, them nights really drove us on the pitch. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, good question here from Louise Kane. Clarky, with Jimmy Mulgrew being such a big part of a team, how do you think you will cope when he retires? Big boots to fill, and as I say, it might be a transition period before you can find a player to fill Mulgrew's boots. But obviously, you've got players in there who are there. The minute Kyle McLean, your Stevie Fallons, who are fantastic young players, as you can see. Kyle and Stevie's unbelievable, both of them. But I think Stevie's got the ability, not just Stevie, Kyle as well, as the ability to go back across the wall. There's no reason why not. They're so gifted technically, and they really love the battle in midfield. They don't shy away, but it's not just that. They can actually play as well. But them 2 are going to be smashers, and as you can see, they've played, Stevie especially. Obviously, Kyle just came back the last year and a half or 2 years, but they're going to play a lot of games for Linfield, and in years to come, they'll be a help show Linfield midfield if they can hold on them and they don't go back across the water. But as I say, they're more than capable of going back across because they're definitely good enough. Yeah, brilliant. Question from Stuart Clarke. Clarky, what do you think of Joel Cooper coming back to the Blues?
It's a big addition for us. Obviously, Coops gave us so much last year, and his pace, his power, his directness, running at defenders and stuff. It's something maybe that we don't have, but it's only good for us, especially in the running now. We've got him for the remainder of the season, and it's a massive addition. I think there's all clubs in every league sniffing around as well. And for us to get Coops back after what he done last year, and it can only put us in good stead. But he's a smashing player, and his directness and his pace is just electronic, and it terrifies defenders. There's no doubt about that. But he's a massive addition and a good addition for the running.
Yeah, there's one for you there, Clarky.
Big Rad, not the first here. Big crocodile pockets, McKelvey.
Right, Nathan Stevens. What's your memories of Queen of the South away and the boat journey home?
Yeah, I remember the first class, honestly. As I say, I was chatting to Rad after that, and we were beaten. We put out that Scottish Cup in the extra time between the South. That day was another game. Big Roy Carter was unbelievable. I think he kept us in the game. Some of the saves he made that day were ridiculous. But we were on the stand of the players. We were on the stand of plush, guys in the boat. in the lounge, and then all the normal, like all the fans are in the normal, like, the normal bit where I would travel when I'm going to games. I mean, I remember just sitting there in the stand-up plus and hearing the songs on. I just wanted to get down right amongst it, like, but obviously we weren't allowed out and stuff. But I was sitting there on the sofa, and all I could hear was like the songs come up to the floor, and I was sitting there, I just wish I was in the middle of that.
Brilliant.
The fans were unbelievable that day. What a fall we brought the Queen of the South. It was unreal.
Brilliant. Okay, question, Keith Gordon. Matthew Clarke is my second favourite Linfield player of all time after Billy Murray, but who is Matty's from years gone by?
My old mate, Gordy. Favourite Linfield player gone by? Someone I would say that I was lucky enough to be with for only a year, but Peter Thompson. And obviously there's a bit tight between Peter Thompson and Michael Galt. Obviously Galty was there for a year, I was there as well. But tough to pick between them two, because Peter's goal scoring record was insane, and an all-round good guy, and someone who helped me really kind of fit into Linfield at that time. And Galty was the exact same. Galty was club captain at that time, and they really helped me settle in when I first came home. And I struggled when I first came home with a transition from full-time football to part-time football. I was still living in Northern Ireland, and I was travelling up and down to Belfast. I was sitting in the house during the day waiting to go to training at night, guys. And I found myself maybe I was bad for gambling. I lived in Glasgow, and a lot of people know that. But when I came home, I kind of fell into the same kind of habit. Was just waiting about going to training. I was trying to kill hours more than anything else.
Yeah.
But I think them two definitely, just because of the relationship I had with them, they really helped me settle in at that time, and a difficult period in probably my life, and the transition of coming home from full-time football to part-time football.
Yeah, okay, folks, we'll do this one last thing, because obviously we're on here an hour and a quarter. We've got to let Clarkie go. Good thing to finish from Taylor Donaghy. How does it feel chasing down 55? Be amazing for Linfield and Rangers.
Feels amazing, honestly, absolutely amazing. Be nice. It'd be what an end of the year if both clubs could finish with 55 here. I think, honestly, the pain that I've felt the last 8-9 years of Rangers being dragged through the mud and having to listen to Celtic fans left, right, and centre with this and that is really. And you know what? I like probably absolutely everything. I see Rangers on Twitter. People are probably fed up seeing Matthew Clarke like this Rangers thing on Twitter, but it's been 9 years of absolute hell. I'm not going to lie. Like, being a Rangers fan, it's been a torrid time. We've seen Pedro Caixinha reigns and him standing on a hedge and bloody thing. And I can't describe how much. I think I'll actually cry my age when Rangers would lift the league. I really do. But as I say, what a special way it would be to end the year if both clubs could lift 55. Would be amazing.
Yeah. Okay, Clarkie. Well, thank you, mate. Brilliant having you on. An hour. You give us an hour of your time. We've got to sort out this wee night with yourself and Waterworth and Jimmy Mulgrew.
100%.
And okay, Clark, if you stay on, I'll come straight back to you. All right. So
no bother, guys. Not a bother.
You stay on. All right, Clarky. Thank you, mate. Thank you. You stay on, mate. Get back. Okay, folks. So that was Matty Clarke. I'm telling you what, there's some questions for Clarky, and that boy can talk. Folks, remember this Sunday, Valentine's night, if you're fed up, you can watch Matt Le Tissier on here. It's a big good show with Matt Le Tissier. And then obviously the big one, folks, 21st of February is Rangers legend Mark Hateley. Mark will be on. And the week after, the 28th, is ex-Ranger in Southampton, England international James Beattie. So we have some good players coming up, and there's going to be a lot more. So, folks, if you're on this page now, please like and share. Just like this and share it. And if you're on Twitter, please retweet. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed Clarkie, and hopefully we'll get the Linfield boys back on again soon. All right, folks, good night.